Book 62 of 2019 was Unweaving the Rainbow by Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is really interesting because every book that he writes is kind of aimed at a different kind of intellectual vantage point. So some of the books that I've read of his have been like kind of really interesting and worth a read. So for example, The Selfish Gene, The God Delusion. But then other ones have been like way too complicated, such as The Extended Phenotype, or have been like really basic. Like I can't remember what the other one was called. Something, oh, what was it? I can't remember what the other one I read was called, but it was like basic GCSE science. This one is like bizarre because it's the whole premise of the book is basically Dawkins kind of addressing that more scientists are viewed as being quite cold because they believe in determinism, and you know they're viewed as being kind of like robotic and not really human, whereas Dawkins is arguing that actually science has a lot of parallels with poetry and literature, and it's the musings of things in nature that have led to scientific discovery. So for example, is it the apple that falls on Isaac Newton's head, and that leads to his kind of laws of physics. So he's kind of drawing parallels with literature and alluding to science, but there's not much science in here. It's kind of, you know, it's very heavily quoted with examples from poetry and literature, but if you were to take out those quotes, there's not much left in there, and a lot of the things that are in there he might have alluded to already in a lot of his other books. The science is very basic. In fact, there's not much science in here at all, really, to be honest. And so personally, I kind of found myself quite bored throughout it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that to say. No, there's not. Like literally that's it. Like, so out of all of his books, I wouldn't recommend this one. There are plenty others out there that are far more interesting and far more exciting. I think this was more like he had to write a book, so he kind of just drew something together. Like this could be condensed into just the one chapter because it's not really worth a read.